Nestled between Tony Gwynn Drive and Trevor Hoffman Way, this is Petco Park. We've got a perfect night for baseball on the show. It's the Miami Marlins and the San Diego Padres. Well, Singy, all eyes on him today after his incredible performance in the last one.
Yeah, Boog, that was one of the best hitting displays I've seen in a while. My man was in the zone. If he's able to carry that momentum over to today, we're in for a show on MLB The Show.
First pitch coming at you right after the break. Just about set to go now. And today's starting pitcher, Nick Pivetta. Base runners are tough to come by with him out there, Chris.
Yeah, this guy's been real stingy, man, not allowing guys to play the game, just keeping them at home plate. I mean, just ridiculous. Someone with, I mean, he's dominating hitters, and a guy like this on the mound, one of the elite starters in the game right now.
And a foul ball. Pivetta with a stellar run lately on the mound, really carving up lineups. And that's off the inside edge. And 1-1. And downstairs.
Some pitchers can go out there and rip off a month or two of incredible starts. And right now, it looks like he's in one of those grooves. Really fun to watch.
What a stop. Throws from his knees. Pretty nice play there.
Great reaction there to get to the baseball, secure it, and then no time to get up and throw. Throws from one knee. That's a guy that's got a lot of confidence in his arm strength and accuracy.
Now here's Jake Cronenworth. Lockridge gets his lead at first with nobody out. On the ground, a second, might be two. There's one. Over to first, safe. Back here at Petco Park, all set for the start of the inning. And at the plate for Miami, Mason Wynn. Pivetta back to work. That one ran inside, almost got him.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Next offering is in for a strike. And a seed into center. That's a base hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Everything came together for him. Just a very nice approach and swing right there to use the big part of the field. Everything was on time. He stayed balanced through the entire swing and just launched that one into center. And now a chance to maybe get creative on offense with good speed on first.
Xavier Edwards, the next up for the Marlins. That one the other way. Bogarts. There's one. Relay to first. Double play.
They made that double play look so easy, but it was far from routine. That's the one thing about big leaguers. They make tough plays look simple.
One down. And now the shortstop, Xander Bogarts. Out to short. Win. Bogarts retired.
Now batting, catcher, Elias.
Man at first, Mason Wynn, the next up for the Marlins. 1 for 2. Here's a rip to short, but he's there for the third out. Marlins lead 1. They trail things here 2-0. 2 outs, runner at first. Mason Wynn, the next up for the Marlins. 1 for 3. Grounds one to short. Bogarts. Now the throw to first on the run. And that's a nice play to end the inning. 1 left for Miami. Still down 3-0. Back to the top of the order. Brandon Lockridge, the next up for the Padres. Ornelas, the runner at first with 2 gone. On the ground, right side, Edwards. That ends the inning. 1 left for San Diego, but they lead it 3-0.
This is just a nice win. 3-0 ball game. You feel comfortable about the 3 runs that you scored, but you also know that if you're not careful, a bloop, a base hit, and a home run ties everything up. But it was great pitching. Timely hitting really made the difference.
A shutout in this one. 3-0 our final score. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long. Coming to you live from Southern California. Baseball comes your way on a Wednesday afternoon. It's the Miami Marlins and the San Diego Padres. And this is the rubber match, Siggy.
And these games can really shape your season, Boo. You always want to come through when you have a chance to win a series. That'll boost confidence amongst the entire organization.
We'll be back with the first pitch right after this. All right, just about set to go on the hill and coming off a great start, Cutter Crawford. And Singy, it's unique these days, but he's more of a pitch to contact type of guy.
Yeah, Boogie, he doesn't rely too heavily on the strikeout. He knows he needs to miss barrels, get some soft contact, let the defense do work behind him. And I think a guy like that can keep a good tempo, don't give hitters time to adjust or think, They could move through a ball game, and you look up, they're in line for a quality start. We'll see what he's got in this one.
Next offering is in for a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Late on that fastball.
Well, just threw that fastball by him, elevated, and if you're not looking up in that location, very difficult to catch up to, especially with that velocity.
Got him swinging.
Boog, if you can set up a good 2-strike splitter with the fastball on the previous pitch, it's going to be so tough to recognize and adjust your swing to get a piece of it. Clearly had him reaching for it right there.
Back here in San Diego, bottom of the inning. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Xander Bogaerts. Swing and a line drive. That's a base hit into center field.
Wow. So important to get into the fielding position after you deliver that baseball. That is a scary one. Watch your lips.
First and second, no outs. Here's Jason Hayward. Into center. Base hit into the outfield. Here comes Bogaerts around third. The throw in. Safe. And the runner from second. Scores on the play. On the board first, it's 1-0.
Well, he comes through clutch with the RBI single. That was big. These days, most outfielders play pretty deep, and I'm not sure if that was a factor there or not, but off the bat, you're thinking it's going to be a pop-out, and it just kind of nestled into that spot where no one was able to get to it.
That's towards center. And there's one down. First and second, one out. Rosario will hit next. Traffic on the bases with one already in here in the rubber match of this 3-game series. Liner, base hit. Rounds third, headed for the plate. The relay, it's offline. The run comes in, and they lead by 2.
Still able to come through behind in the count right there. I could watch base hits like that one all day long, and so could every hitting coach in the league. Just a nice line drive into center field.
2 on, 1 out. Ornelas getting ready to hit. 2 on, 1 out. In the air, pretty deep out to center field. Scott gets under it. Brings it in. Runner tags at second. The tag gets him, and it's a double play to end the inning.
Tremendous job of getting set up behind and underneath this ball to come through with full momentum. A strike thrown to third base. That'll end the inning, and the dugout is fired up.
And welcome back to the ballpark. On to the third inning. Now it's going to be Victor Scott. Crawford back to work. And there's a foul ball.
Well, after putting up a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to go out there, have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back up there while they're hot.
Just missed. And that's downstairs. And it's 2-1. That one just misses.
And that's a pitch early in this game. He needs called for a strike. Struggling with command issues. He's got to get a little help from the umpire.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. That one misses, so a leadoff walk.
Well, a breaking ball in that 3-2 count kind of tells you that that's the pitch he has the most confidence in right now. Just couldn't find the strike zone.
And up next for Miami, Mason Wynn. Crawford over to first, and he's back in safely.
I love this part of the game. Does he really want to try and steal second against this catcher? I know he's fast, but it's pretty risky.
Runner on the move, pitch in for a strike, throw, safe. Siggy, he definitely showed off the wheels there.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a bang-bang play. StatCast gives us the data, and that stolen base wasn't possible without that sprint speed.
Swing and a miss at the splitter, and it's a strikeout.
Well, that splitter out of the hand, it just sort of jumps on you, and your interpretation is here comes a fastball again. Well, it never really reaches because the bottom falls out of it and you swing over the top, and that's why they call it a split-finger fastball, because it looks like a four-seamer.
So digging in, Xavier Edwards. Strike three, and that's 2 in a row.
Just couldn't catch up on the low 90s fastball right there, and that's a result of a good job of changing speeds. Off-speed pitch on the one before, then sped him up. Pitchers that don't throw real hard have to rely on location and mix it up to speeds. That wasn't the best location with the fastball, but clearly that wasn't the pitch he was looking for at the plate either.
Here's the cleanup hitter for Miami, Jonah Bride. Runner takes off for third. That's in for a strike. Out at third, and that ends the inning.
When you get thrown out at third with 2 outs, you kind of want to keep on running. Not a great decision there as it ends the inning.
1 out, base is empty. So digging in now for San Diego, Jake Cronenworth. Out towards right center field. Scott sizes this one up. Makes the catch for the out.
Now batting, third baseman, Manny.
Back to the top of the lineup, Victor Scott, the next up for the Marlins. He's 0 for 1. Swings through that one for strike 1.
Always tough to turn 2 on a speedster like this. It's even harder with him coming out of the left-handed batter's box. You really need something to hit hard on the ground that they can handle to turn 2 quickly.
Just missed. To the right side, and it finds its way through for a hit. Quick throw back in. Lead runner holds at second with 1 gone.
He needed that one. It's been a tough stretch at the plate lately.
He kind of rolled over on this pitch a little bit, but he got enough behind it to shoot it through for a knock, and
you'll take that anytime you can get him to find a hole.
And now here's a speed threat. Outfielder Victor Scott.
You know, the first manager to ever win a game here at Petco Park was Tony Gwynn. Yes, Tony Gwynn. They had a college baseball tournament here in March 2004, and Tony managed San Diego State to a win.
And it's 1-1. And he pops up the bunt. Machado makes a nice grab at a full sprint.
Now batting, shortstop Mason Wynn.
Welcome back. Taking a
Leading
look at
off
our
for the
game summary.
Padres, designated hitter, Eggy Rosario.
Here's a high fly ball out to center. Scott under it. Hauls it in for the out. And there's one away.
Really nice job to get your first out of the ball game.
Up next for the Padres.
Base is empty,
Left
one away.
fielder,
And now it's Tirso Ornelas.
Ornelas.
Swing and a ball driven out to center. That's back there. On the warning track and hauls it in.
Now batting, center fielder, Brandon.
2 down, base is empty.
Up next
Now
for
it's
the
the Marlins leadoff hitter,
Center fielder,
Victor Scott.
Victor Scott
He's
the
one of the
second.
faster guys just by pure sprint speed in the majors. Just missed. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
1-1.
2 down, nobody on. And we're in the top of the 8th. And that clips the inside corner.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. Jason Hayward
Now
digs
batting,
in now.
right fielder, Jason.
1 out, base is
Hayward.
empty. Swing and a ball lined out towards center. Scott tracks it down for the out.
That was just a great jump and route to the ball.
Now
Well, it had to be.
batting,
If he was going to cover all that
first
ground and
baseman,
bring in that
Connor
sinking liner, that's the way it had to be done.
Joe.
Nice job. The ball for his first career save deserves to be on display at his house. I mean, it's kind of like when a restaurant frames its first dollar bill somewhere on a wall. You just can't forget your first save.
8-2 the final here. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi. We'll see you soon. Welcome to Marlins Way, where we find Lone Depot Park. A great night for baseball ahead on the show. It's the San Francisco Giants taking on the Miami Marlins. Today, all eyes are on the mound as we've got a pitcher who's been absolutely on fire lately. In fact, In his recent outings, he's been nearly untouchable, Singy.
Oh, you're not kidding, Boog. Opponents have looked lost against this guy, and the way he's pitching, it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. All right, just about set to go. And getting the start for Miami, Braxton Garrett. And for some reason, he's not quite as effective here in front of his home crowd, Chris.
Yeah, Boog, and the fans are well aware of that. For him, he's got to just not press and go out there and say, hey, I'm just treating this like any start. Home, on the road, it doesn't matter. My job is to focus on that catcher's mitt, attack hitters, and just try to move through a ball game. So if he can...
He dives, but he can't make the catch. Safe at first as they can't make the play.
The effort from both players involved in this play just really stands out to me. I mean, you got the diving stop at short, which was outstanding, and how can you not love the hustle flying down the line? That's just great baseball at an extremely high level.
Mason Wynn now in the box, comes up empty with a swing there. Swings through that one for strike two.
Well, as a hitter, you're hoping that the command on that sinker doesn't come until later in the ball game. But if that's how it's going to be all day, it's going to be a tough one for the offense.
Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. And there's two down.
He's really good hitting the baseball the other way. So credit the pitcher for having him out in front of that pitch. Clearly, he had him fooled.
One down. Here comes Mike Yastrzemski to the plate. On the ground, out to short. Win. Two gone now.
Out. Batting ninth, catcher Patrick Bailey.
Welcome back. Let's check out what's been happening of late. Really been playing well.
Mason Wynn.
Hicks back to work. And that one clips the corner.
No ball, one strike.
Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2.
No ball, two strikes.
Went with the sweeper, but it misses.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
That's a strikeout. Good looking sweeper there.
Now batting.
Now the number 2 hitter, Mason Wynn. And there's a breaking ball that drops in there. Swing and a foul out of play. Swing and a base hit. The run scores from third. It's an RBI single, and they're up by 3.
Good two-strike hitting right there, Boog. A bit of a lost start for some, so that was nicely done to beat the odds. Other than ripping one into the gap or blasting one over the wall, there aren't a whole lot of hits that are more satisfying than a nice line drive into center field, so that definitely felt good. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Runner at first with 2 away. Xavier Edwards, the next up for the Marlins. The 1-1 is fouled off.
This might be a steal situation, but that's not your average catcher behind the dish. You have to be careful here.
Pickoff throw, and he dives back in safely. Win off of first with 2 away. Here goes the runner. That one 95 to finish him off. 1 run, a pair of hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We played 4, Marlins 5, and the Giants 2. So the batting
Now
order
batting,
turns over,
the designated
and now the
hitter,
DH, Tyler Fitzgerald. And a pitch. Grounder might be 2. The underhand flip, 1 at second, on to first, safe. So they get 1, but a really nice try there.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air, lets the defense work behind him.
Up
First and
next to the
second,
Giants,
1 out.
first
The man they
baseman,
call Late
Lamont
Night
Ray
Lamont
Jr.
steps in. To short, could be 2. The flip to second, and that's 2. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. Home half of the 5th coming up. Marlins 5 and the Giants 2. Mike Yastrzemski up here. So RBI spot, but Chris, this is a guy that is not really swinging the bat all that well here.
In this situation, you have a real good opportunity to get swings and misses and record a strikeout. I think you attack him in this spot.
And he grounds 1 to the right side. They get the force, and the inning is over. Giants leave a couple, and the deficit remains 5-2. One out, base is empty. Mason Wynn, the next to hit.
Up next for the
Seeing you talk
Marlins,
about a guy that has
the
all the
shortstop,
skills.
Mason
The range is really good, but the arm
Wynn.
just stands out, and he makes all the plays.
Get up.
Popped up right side. Yastrzemski snags it for the second out.
A little drop and drive on that swing.
Now
Backside
batting,
collapsing just a
second
little bit,
baseman,
trying to put the ball in the
Xavier.
air.
So 2
Now
down.
batting,
Willie
shortstop,
Adames
Willie
stands in.
Adames.
With the tying run at the plate, and we're in the top of the 8th. Swing and a ground ball, base hit right field. They stop the lead runner at second. Now 2 on with 2 outs.
Now batting,
And
right
his hitting
fielder,
streak
Mike
continues.
Yastrzemski.
There have been almost no bad days for him in the past month.
This guy's running hot, Boog, and people around the league are paying serious attention to this streak now, especially the pitchers that are trying to slow him down.
So a runner at third, 2 men out. Mason Wynn, the next up for the Marlins. And that's in for a strike. Runner at third, 2 away. Next
Ball,
pitch is
no.
downstairs.
1-1.
On the ground to third. Chapman over to first in time. That ends the inning and stops things from getting out of hand. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and a runner left. 9th inning coming up. It's the Marlins 8 and the Giants 3.
Well, they win the opener at home. First game of the 3-game series, and there's just such a good feeling when you're in your own ballpark, you're sleeping in your own bed, you're eating your clubhouse manager's food, everything's right in your world, and they played like it today.
8-3 the final in this one. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Major League Baseball on tap. It's the San Francisco Giants taking on the Miami Marlins. Biggest storyline coming into this one. He's riding quite the hitting streak, Singy.
Been seeing the ball so well, Boog. One of the toughest outs in the league right now. It'll be interesting to see how they pitch to him today.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about ready to roll here. And today's starting pitcher, Edward Cabrera.
Batting second.
Well, coming into this game,
fielder,
hitters are
John
batting under
Bowie.
250 against this starting pitcher. So it just shows you how effective he's been. He's been able to move his pitches around, add and subtract, change up the look so that hitters don't get too comfortable and start squaring up the baseball.
Here's Edwards for one. Throw to first, but he beat it.
Batting third, first baseman, Lamont Jr.
Base is empty, one
Batting
away.
second,
Mason
the
Wynn
shortstop,
will hit next.
Mason
He's already set a new
Wynn.
career best for stolen bases in a season, Chris. And first offering is fouled off. One down, base is empty. Swing and a ball drilled in the air towards right center field. Hauls it in for the out. Two away.
Batting
No,
third,
those can be pretty fun as an
second
outfielder.
baseman,
Got to put it into his
Xavier.
highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football.
On the ground right side, Fitzgerald slings to first, and there's two down. Willie Adames stands in. On the ground, 2 ball. Here's Wynn for one. How about that double play?
Oh, man, what a smooth double play. That was a thing of beauty from start to finish.
Go-ahead run on base. And here's the catcher, Patrick Bailey. And he hits a ground ball right side. To second, there's one. Return throw to first, got him. Double play, and that'll do it. One hit in the inning, but nothing more than that. Last half of the 5th coming up. We are tied 2-2. Now it's the shortstop, Mason Wynn.
The
0 for
shortstop,
2 in this one.
Wynn.
And that one is downstairs. And that's ball 1. First and second, no outs. Last half of inning number 5. Next offering is in for a strike. And that one fouled off. That one in the dirt. 2-2. Sanchez at second. Scott at first with no outs. And it remains 2-2.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage against mistakes, but that's not what that pitch was.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Came inside with that 2-strike fastball nicely and just
Now
bunched
batting,
him up
first
on
baseman,
the inside part of the plate.
Jr.
Couldn't get around on it and catch it out front. Many times if you do, it's a foul ball. And you know, a lot of pitchers, they really don't like working inside with 2 strikes because they do not want to hit that batter. And when they've got him up against the ropes, got to figure out a way to put him away. Did a nice job right there. Oh, you never like to
Now
cut it that
batting,
close,
left
but
fielder,
the hitting
Charlie
streak will
Ramos.
live on at least another day.
Little bit of
Leading off for
intense
the
moment,
Marlins,
Singy.
the
Looked like that
shortstop,
might be the end of it.
I don't know, the way he's been going, his
Wynn.
confidence must be sky high. So even if it takes until his last at bat, you get that sense that a hit's coming from this guy one way or another. You know, these Marlins definitely being aggressive at the plate, but I think it's fair to wonder if they're being a little over-aggressive. They're swinging at a lot of first pitches, and they've given away 7 outs as a result. they might just want to consider a more patient approach.
That's off the mark. Going to count 1-2.
I'm sure it's at least something they've chatted about in the dugout. Coming into this one, that was probably the game plan. Attack early in the count, but doesn't seem to be working out the way they wanted to. We'll see if they make an adjustment.
Tranquilo Camilo notches the K.
Well, this is no secret. That slider is going to be his go-to pitch. Everyone in the ballpark knows it. It's a massive part of his arsenal, and he'll throw it a lot. And in pretty much any count, any situation,